What a night in Turin in the Champions League for Villarreal. Remember, it was 1-1 going into the second leg in Italy. Juventus had a number of chances in the first half, couldn't take them, and then they just collapsed in the second half. Villarreal taking advantage, scoring 3 goals without replies. We welcome Gab Marcotti into the show. Gab, this is embarrassing, wasn't it, in the second half?
Yeah, it's a debacle, and I think inevitably people are going to compare it to early exits in recent years against Porto, against Lyon. I mean, this was different. This was Villarreal, who'd been up and down, and it looked like Juve were doing everything right but score in the first half. But it felt as if they're maybe playing into Unai Emery's plan. Unai Emery knows his knockouts competitions. He defended deep. He weathered the storm. When they had the opening, Rugani makes a mistake and it's a penalty. Juventus still under shock, and then they concede the second goal. And then from there, it's lights out. And somebody pointed out that if you play badly most of the time, it's really difficult to start playing well suddenly and keep that up for 90 minutes. And I think Juventus showed that this was the case.
Who's getting the blame, Gab?
It's a good question. I mean, look, as individuals, poor Rugani again for giving up the penalty will be getting some blame. But I think some of this has to be on Max Allegri. We've given him all the mitigating circumstances and Chiesa's injury and taking over and whatever else. But it did feel to me that over the 2 legs, even in the first leg, when Juventus seemed to have the game under control, they could have put it away there. I think that has to fall on him. And it wouldn't change the fact that, again, Juventus should be doing better against Villarreal. A Villarreal team, by the way, who had players missing, players coming back from injury as well. So I think you got to put it on Allegri, especially after the signings in January of Dusan Vlahovic.
Yeah, what does this mean for his future, Gab? Is it being questioned at all?
I'm not sure you can question him yet because it is Allegri, and then certainly not mid-season. He's still somebody who's trusted. He's somebody who Andrea Agnelli really wanted to bring back to the club. So I'd be surprised if there was a move against Allegri, certainly before the end of the season. And I think if he finishes top 4 and continues to narrow the gap at the top, then I think he's going to be back next year. But I think there's a lot of things to reevaluate and a lot of big calls to make, especially with contracts. What do you do with Paulo Dybala, whose contract is expiring? What do you do with Alvaro Morata, whose loan term ends at the end of this season? What will Chiesa be like when he returns next season? There's a lot of big calls that Juve need to make, and I think they're still paying for some of the excesses in terms of spending over the past couple of years.
I know it's easy to make generalisations from this, Gab, but you take a look at the teams that are remaining, 3 Spanish, 3 English. You've got a German and Portuguese side as well. How much is it an indictment on Italian football and the quality at the moment that we're seeing from it, in that we're going into the Champions League without any representatives from Serie A?
I don't think it's an indictment. I don't think it's anything necessarily new. I mean, I think everybody going out has their own history. I think the general level is much improved. Maybe near the top, you've had teams going backwards. Inter obviously winning the league, losing, as we know, Conte, Hakimi, and Lukaku in one fell swoop, and rebuilding. Obviously, you're going to pay a price for that. Juventus obviously losing Cristiano Ronaldo and having to rebuild. You're going to pay a price for that. But I don't think there's any question that, at the top end of the table, it's been another poor season in Europe for Serie A clubs. So what can I tell you? If you're a fan of Serie A, we're all Atalanta fans now, and a little bit Roma in the Conference League.
In the Conference League, let's not forget about that. Don, obviously you watch a lot of Italian football. Is it fair in the sense that the quality just isn't there?
Just yet, I think that's fair, Dan. In all honesty, I think they are rebuilding. I think Milan strike, or to me, I feel as though they're on the way back. I think the Serie A clubs are improving. Juventus, I think, have still got a way to go. I think the sign of Vlahovic was an excellent one. But as Gab said, I think they need investment. I think they need more quality. And it's all on Juve now to finish top 4. It's a massive body blow for them. Losing in this manner in Turin at home at this stage in the Champions League. But now they've got to try and bury that as quick as possible. Concentrate on the run, because the run in Serie A has been in pretty decent, Juve. So they've got to make sure whatever happens this season, even though it's a failure, they must finish in the top 4 spots.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.